one, will the Vikings be down bad against the Ravens?
Yes. Yes.
60 seconds. We got them all in.
Come on,
that
Ben.
is well done.
Come on, Ben.
That is Taylor Swift. If you enjoyed it, it was my idea. If you absolutely hated it, we blame it on the staff. That's hosting 101. Very well done, fellas. All right, and let's get to that game then for a moment. Ravens are averaging 31.8 points per game with Lamar in the lineup. Now they get an NFC team which is music to Lamar's ears. He's 24-3 in his career against the NFC. Best record by any starting quarterback in interconference games since the merger in 1970. So we've talked about Lamar. We've talked about the Ravens. We haven't said a whole lot about the Vikings. And the first question I wanted to ask you, Dan, when we got to this game was the J.J. McCarthy of it all. He played well last week. It was an impressive win. It was his third NFL game. I think it's important to underline that. But as you went back and watched it, how good is J.J. McCarthy? Is this team ready to play in a game like this, which is one they desperately need?
When the number one receiver is open, he's very good. And that's where this falls upon Kevin O'Connell. How much can he scheme up to allow J.J. McCarthy to play his best? Because when he knows the coverage and he thinks that first anticipated read is going to be the guy, it's really good. He throws it really good. He throws it with super confidence. He puts his back foot in the ground. That ball is drilled right where it's needed to be. When he has to get to that first or second guy, that's when you see the dip off between accuracy but also tension. When he has to throw to that first receiver, it's easier. It seems more natural. When he gets to that second and third guy, it's almost like you're watching in real time, just tense up, and then sometimes meet a hawk, the ball's absolutely ripped, and you're like, you don't need to throw it that hard in that moment. And so he's still so young. It's still, to your point, his fourth game essentially in the NFL as the guy, so it has to improve. But there is a little period of just let's get him his reps. But Kevin O'Connell's got to scheme things up right now.
I think there's been a lot made. You've pointed it out here, as many others have. Obviously, your history and Taylor's history with Michigan and everything else with McCarthy. For a normal quarterback, if you just sort of look at their experience, this would be like week 4 of his rookie season.
Correct.
This would be September of your rookie year. But unfortunately, because the circumstances have been what they've been, he gets inserted in the midst of a playoff run that they desperately need every single win. He goes on the road and he beats the Lions. Now they get a Baltimore team that people are all expecting to make a run here. The circumstances for McCarthy are pretty tough.
Well, he entered Sunday, I think, with more pressure on him than just about any player in the National Football League, because everybody knows it's a franchise that had on its roster last season Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. Again, here we are with the New York quarterbacks shining elsewhere. What people don't realize, of course, is that Minnesota attempted to keep both. They tried to re-sign Sam Darnold. They tried to keep Daniel Jones. Both quarterbacks opted for jobs elsewhere, knowing how much belief and confidence the Vikings had in J.J. McCarthy. They wanted to play. And so Daniel Jones figured his best opportunity to play was competing against Anthony Richardson, not J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold figured his best chance to play was in Seattle, where they were trading Geno. And they were right. They were right. That leaves J.J. McCarthy having to take over a team that last year went to the playoffs with a lot of questions, a lot of pressure. He's battled through injuries, had more injuries this year, has struggled to stay on the field. And as you mentioned, that was his third start. This would be his 4th NFL game. That's very early in his NFL career.
The Vikings have been spoiled by their circumstances. They get quarterbacks to play at their very best. They have great season no matter who's come through the KOC system. And so with that, I would preach to them, the fans, you got to have patience with a young quarterback. Yeah, he's in year 2, but to your point, this is his 4th game. And there were times and moments that you saw that first-round capability. Some of those ball placements he threw in to Addison that was dropped, but it was a perfect drop in the bucket. The touchdown to Justin Jefferson. And then other times it's a little frantic. It's a little him trying to work his way through, figure things out. The thing that made J.J. McCarthy special coming in was he got better when the stakes got high in college, right? And so for a young player, you got to trust those mechanics. You got to trust putting him and leaving him in these situations to work his way through so he gets comfortable from start to finish. But there was enough in this game where I thought, okay, I can see what the Vikings see in him and why they believe he could be the quarterback of the future.
Both these teams need to win this game. Who do you think will?
I got the Ravens. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, he's highest success rate, and he's the best when he gets pressured. Minnesota being the number 2 team in the league that pressures you, I see Ravens having a big game, and they're also in playoff mode the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think Baltimore as well. I think, number one, Baltimore defensively with Kyle Hamilton down near the football, it's a completely different unit. The way that they are really making offenses one-dimensional, meaning that you're making them a pass-heavy offense because of his performance, is a big deal. Last week, Baltimore's offense was just okay for me. Lamar was just okay. Everyone made this big deal that it was fine. They ran the ball a little bit better as the game went on, and that's the shocking thing was I think they scored 28, and they were just okay.
Yeah.
So first week back, grace. Now that he's back, Lamar, he's got that game underneath him this year. Can this offense start to take off?
Right.
And they have a long break. They have the little mini bye, right, coming off of that Thursday night game, so extra time to get ready for it.
And
Final word.
And they went out and added Draymond Jones to their defense, and they believe that that's going to be a big-time upgrade along the defensive front.
You know, there are playoff games sometimes in early November. This feels a little bit like
I would say the Ravens got to basically win out. There's grace for maybe one loss.
And the Vikings, too. I mean, this is a team that was thinking Super Bowl thoughts. That whole division is over 500. They're looking up at everybody, including...
All right, the divisional title in the AFC North, the Steelers and the Ravens will both be 9-7, and Week 18 will come down for the division title.
Are you buying that? Do you guys buy that?
Yeah.
Are the Steelers and Ravens going to be sitting there, both of them fighting for that on the last week of the season?
I'll buy it. One, I think Pittsburgh defensively much better last week. They need efficiency on offense. That's their primary focus, so I'm in on that too. The reason I can get on the Ravens is Kyle Hamilton. There is no player defensively that is impacting their team more than Kyle Hamilton is right now. That's why I can get on board with that.
My concern is not the Ravens making this happen, it's the Steelers making this happen. If their defense can continue to play the way they did last week against the Indianapolis Colts, I can absolutely see them the last week of the season. We got the flex, we got the popcorn going on, and it's really going to come down to Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, and Cameron Hayward, because those guys lit up the Indianapolis Colts offensive line last week.
In a related story, we're way over 300 retweets already, so the guys will be wearing suits next week.
This is how I didn't sign up for this.
Next, straight out of Compton, who do you have winning the AFC West?
The Denver Broncos will be winning the AFC West and dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs.
They've won it 9 straight years. Are we willing to say
grinning about, huh?
the king is dead, long live the king?
I don't know what the backstory is between Will and the Chiefs, but I feel like all of his takes are coming at their neck. I'm against it. I'm going Chiefs. I'm going with what we've known and seen from Patrick Mahomes. He has all these weapons. Little blip last week, but this is still the best team in that division.
I agree. Change is scary, and I can see the change happening based on where this Denver Broncos defense plays. For me, it's the Broncos offense. They start so slow in the first half. If they play that way against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not going to happen.
I'm going to get one more in here. Will, this one is not about a team, but it's about a player that you think doesn't get enough love.
Matthew Stafford is the most underappreciated player in the NFL and arguably NFL history.
Dan?
Cosign. Everyone knows. I totally agree.
Dan loves
right now,
that one.
King of the fan club,
Dan
Dan.
loves
Let's go.
that one.
Right now, there is not a quarterback in football throwing the ball better than Matthew Stafford. It is clinical, their pass game right now, both in the drop back and the play action game, and he's as hot throwing the ball as anybody.
And Hawk has a tape.
Matt Stafford has been dialed in. What I'm going to talk about is his chemistry with Devontae Adams and the 5+ yards. In the last 3 games, they scored 5 touchdowns. Why? Defenses are committing 10 people to trying to stop the run, and they're leaving Devontae Adams one-on-one, who's the best receiver off the line, and Matt Stafford, who's the best placer of the football. A simple 2-way go. I'm going inside, touchdown. You've also seen it 3 other times where he's gone to fade, and one-on-one, you can't beat him. Now, in this one, they try to get cute. They say, hey, we're going to try to bait them back into that same slant throw, put a safety there, same situation, hit him off the line. Now I'm going the other way, put the ball where only Devontae Adams can get it. Easy touchdowns. This, to your point about Matt Stafford, this becomes simple to him. Placing the ball, he's so far past that. In the last 5 years, he's been a completely different player than we saw in the first 15.
All right, we'll keep an eye on all of that as we go. We'll have much more football as we go this morning, but there's also...
Các bạn xuất phát len vào mùa đông nhé. vô cùng hết. Xin